Again, welcome to C++ programming language. This is Unit 2, lecture number 1. The motivation behind these lectures, again, in our preceding unit, we learned how to use the broad shared dev C++ or any IDE to, again, create, compile, and run a C++ program. Now, from this unit, we are going to learn how to solve practical problems, such as using arithmetic operators to solve a problem. Now, through this problem, we are going to learn what is a primitive data types, such as a whole number or a decimal numbers, characters, etc. And also, we are going to learn what is a variables, constants, data types, operators. In these lectures, we are going to learn the arithmetic operators and also how to get an input into the program. And we already know how to display an output using the cout. So our main objective is to write a C++ program to perform a simple computations using arithmetic operations. And also we are going to learn how to read an input from a keyboard and also how to use identifiers to name elements such as variables and functions. We're also going to learn how to declare variables, how to store data in the variables. So we start with an example here. Here we are going to look at a program that will compute the area of a circle. So now we know in the mathematics to find the area of a circle, we need only the radius of the circle. So which means our program here, our input will be the radius of a circle. So in this program here, we can see we declare variable name radius. A variable will be a memory location where we can store data. So there's two ways we can store data. Either we use assignment operator, which is the equal sign, or we are going to use the cin. Now, if we use the cin operator, we can either get an input from a keyboard. Here, our input always will be 20 unless we change it. But when we use the cin, we can use the keyboard to enter any value we want to anytime we run the program. So we start with the header files again, the IO stream, because we're going to use the cout. And we have our main method. So from here going, we know computation will be input, processing, and output. Input will be our data. When we get our data, we can do any process. Then when we get the result, we can print it. So we can see here we declare two variables. One is called the radius. This is where we are going to store our radius value. Then the second variable is named the area. This is where we are going to put the result of the area of the circle. So that's our input process. We need a location to store our data. So we declare. Now, we may write any program, depends on the task of the program. And we may have less or more variables. So first thing we do is to read the radius. So we get our radius, which is 20. Then next we do our computation or processing. To find the area of a circle is radius times pi. So that's the formula here. And then we store the result into the variable name area. Then the last section is to display the area, which is our output. So here we say the area is the content of the variable always will not be in a double quotation. So if I have a value in a variable and I want to print it, I can just use the cout with the double left arrows. And then we just, again, print the content. So this will print the content of area. If I put a double quotation on it, then it's going to print the word area because it's a string. So let's try and run it. Then we look at the steps. So I'm going to use the same file previously because I don't want to change the name or save it. So I delete everything. So first thing we do is to compile it. And there's no any error. Errors is 0, 1 is 0. Then we run it. So here we can see our result. The area is 1256.64, which is 20 times 3.142 times 3.142 will give us 1256. So we can see the output, the area is whatever value in the variable area is what is printed here. So this is also to trace the program execution. When we run this program, first we declare our variable radius. So the operating system gives us a memory location. So far, there's no any value in both of them in the area. Next, we assign 20 to the radius. Then next, we compute the area, which is radius times 3.14159. And the result is in the variable years location. Then next, we are going to display our result. So our result here is the area is 1256.64. Also, we can read an input from a keyboard. So we can see the previous program we went through. Always when we run it, we are using only 20, unless we change the value. So now we are going to use a cin. And so first, let's go through this code. So everything is the same. We have our variables. We need to declare our radius. Then we ask this time we are using cin. So instead of using assignment operator to get the input, we use cin. Cin will allow us to enter the input when we compile, we run the program. So cin with the double right arrow will give us the input. Then after we get the input, we declare our variable area as a double, and we use the formula cin, then we display the results. So let's run this program and see the difference between the previous program and this one. Now, the previous program, we used only 20. The program didn't ask us to enter any value. So first we compile it. There's no any error. Now here, when we run it, you will see that we get a cursor here. Oh, this is running the previous one. So maybe I need to save the program first. Oh, no, I'm still using the previous program. So let me delete this and go back to okay. Make sure I copy it. Okay, yeah, we have the CN now. So I'm going to save it, then compile it again. Previously, I was comparing the previous program. So we have 0 error, 0 warnings. Then I'm going to execute and run it. So we can see first thing they tell us is to enter the radius. I'll enter 35 or 34. It gave me a result. When I press and I run it again, it will give me another option, and I can enter different value now. Previously, I entered 34. This time, I'm going to enter 600, and to give me different result. So again, we use the cin operator with what we call the intersection, double right arrow, to get an input from a keyboard. Now, we already imported the IO string. So all we need is just to use the cin. So again, the cin in this case allow us to get an input. And we can see another program here, which is called the average. So here also you can see how we write this. We want to enter 3 values. We can do it in this form, or we can do it separately. So I can have cin double right arrow number 1 semicolon cin double right arrow number 2 semicolon cin. So you can have it separately. Or if you do it like this also, it's fine. The only thing is that when you enter the first value, press the space bar or the enter key. Otherwise, for example, if I want to enter 1 for number 1, 2 for num2, and 3 for num3. If I enter 1, 2, 3 with no space, all the 1, 2, 3 will go to num1. So I may enter 1, then press enter 2, then press enter 3, then they may go separate. So in this case, after that, we find the average value, then we display our results. So next, we are going to talk about identifiers. In C++, same as Java, identifiers will be the name of the items in our program, such as the name of a variable, the functions, classes, etc. So in Java, identifier the name can have a characters, uppercase and lowercase, and digits, underscore, and $sign. Now with C++, it's excluding $sign. So an identifier in C++ is a sequence of characters, both uppercase and lowercase, and also digits and underscores. Also, and as we said, an identifier cannot start with a number, same as Java. So C++ is the same thing. An identifier must start with a letter or the underscore, and not start with a number, or and not start with digits, same as Java also. Also, an identifier cannot use the reserved word. A reserved word will be the words that C++ understood, same as Java. So for example, we can't name a variable cout unless one of the characters is uppercase or all of them are uppercase. C++ is a case sensitive. So lowercase and uppercase is different. So let's see some examples. As we said earlier, variable is a memory location. We declare variable radius. So here, for example, we have radius. Normally, we're supposed to start with the data type. The data type of the variable tells us what value or the content that we can enter. So here 1.0 means the data type for this radius will be either double or float. The difference between double and float is the number of decimal places, which we call the precisions. So this is how we declare variable int x. Int means it's an integer, it's an whole number, a whole number. Double means it's a decimal number, so double radius. Char means it's a character, so a char data type can take only one character, and the character must be in a single quotation. So this is how we assign values to the variable. First, we declare the variable int x. We assign 1 to it because 1 is a whole number. The second, we declare variable double radius. Double is a decimal number, so we assign 1.0. Then we declare variable char as a, lowercase a. We assign uppercase a. Again, a character always have to be in single quotes. Then a string have to be in double quotation. But we can also declare and initialize everything in one step. So I declare my variable x as int, and also I initialize it, or I assign 1 to it. Same thing with double d, and I assign 1.4 to it. We also have what we call the name constants. In Java, normally we use the keyword fana. In C++, we use the keyword constant, or const. So here we have const, then we have to have the data type and the name of the variable. And we know in Java, we always have to initialize a constant variable. Same thing here. So we initialize it to any value. So example given here, we have a constant variable named pi or pi. The data type is double, and we initialize it to 3.14159. We also have a constant variable named size. The data type is int, and we initialize it to 3. So these are all the numerical data types in C++. We have a short, unsigned short, which is not common. We don't use it much. Now, the difference between all these data types also is for example, short, unsigned short, int, and long, long. They are all whole numbers, but the difference between them is the size. So we can say long is the largest. We can see the range of the values. It goes all the way to from negative to the power 63, all the way to positive 2 to the power 63 minus 1. It's a 64-bit, very large. Then we can see long is from negative 2 to the power 31 to positive 2 to the power 31 minus 1. And the shortest one is the data type short, from negative 2 to the power 15 to positive 2 to the power 15 minus 1. And the range is just negative 32,768 to positive 32,767. Now with the long, it's over billion, trillion, very big. Then we have the decimal numbers, which is float, double, and long double. The major difference is the size again and the number of decimal places. We also have a function called the size of. A size of function, if we use it, it will tell us the data type size. For example, if I want to know the int, the size of the int, I will just use size of int in a cout statement, and it will print the size of the data type, or size of long, it will print the data type. Same thing, we have size of double, it will print the size. So that will be the completion of our lectures, and hope to see you in the next lectures, which we will cover the arithmetic operations more detail. Thank you.